News alert there. Brand new information about that horrific shooting on Sunday, caught on live stream during a Madden video game tournament, Madden 2019. It happened over in Jacksonville. Court records reportedly show the suspected gunman, who had been previously hospitalized for mental illness and was prescribed antipsychotic, antidepressant medications. Meanwhile, police still not revealing a motive, but are providing new details on what happened. Listen.
The suspect clearly targeted other gamers who were in the back room of Chicago Pizza participating in this gaming tournament. The suspect walked past patrons who were in other parts of the business and focused his attention on the gamers.
There you go. Authorities also saying the suspect had 2 handguns, only fired 1. Juan, your take on this event that took place, because none of these people were from Jacksonville, as one of the reporters brought up this morning on WOKV, one of our affiliates on the radio. He said normally there's a vigil and there's candles and there's flowers, but no one even knew anybody that that was participating. It was an out-of-town event, a regional championship.
So this is, you know, for me, this is like, I love sports, but this is EA Electronic Sports. And the idea—
It's going to be an Olympic sport in 2024, by the way. I'm being
You're
serious.
serious. I know. I know. But this is a huge change in our reality, that these people are watching other people play a video game, essentially.
Exactly.
And this young man from Baltimore apparently had won this tournament earlier, was unhappy at something in the outcome. I don't know if he felt that
he lost Saturday.
But I don't know if he felt that he got cheated, Brian. I don't know if he felt that other people were making fun of him. We know, as you described in the opening, he had been hospitalized for mental issues. So I don't know the details here. I mean, all I can say is, you know, I come back to the same refrain I've said often, which is I think we have too many guns in this country. I don't know. Right. By the way, do you know where he got the gun from?
No, I don't. They know they're raiding his Baltimore apartment. We were doing Fox.
His dad's. No, I think it's his dad's in Federal Hill. Yeah.
Tammy, this was a no-gun zone. So even though Florida has one rules, when it came to Jackson Square, they said you can't bring a gun there. Didn't work.
Well, it didn't work. And some of the gamers now, of course, as you might imagine, are calling for more security. They want people to be able to be searched. These are turning into be huge events. All kinds of people from all over the place, right, who might not even know the local rules, or if they're traveling with guns, but they're vulnerable positions, soft targets, obviously, beyond just one person who might be on psychotropics and whose mind is in trouble, versus terrorism, right? You'd think that we would get this when it comes to large groups of people. So America's been educated on that. And already, of course, it's been politicized with firearms. Ivanka Trump being attacked for her sending her condolences on Twitter, saying—
In fact, we
talking about the NRA.
We weave that in. Ivanka Trump came out and said, I offer my condolences, but of course—
And Dick Durbin and others, you know, talking about the gun issue. But the problem with that is, when you go immediately just to that, it sucks all the air out of the room to deal with what is a common link in virtually every shooting.
Mental illness.
Which is mental illness. But more than mental illness also, but beyond that, is the nature of the treatment. Are the drugs that are used, especially with the young people, and how they affect. The thing, especially just before Columbine, is when the psychotropics were initially approved to be dealt with when it comes to young people. So that's what we have to be dealing with directly, I think.
Dana, this guy, out of his mind Saturday, showed up in the same outfit Sunday, started shooting live on camera. I think that figured into it.
Right. Well, the guy that beat him the day before said that he refused to shake, that the suspect refused to shake his hand after the match. He was staring blankly, acting weird, and wearing the same clothes as the day before. That's not necessarily something you would go to authorities about, because that's just not what we do.
Can't arrest him.
But to Tammy's point, yes, it is the case that there's a group that will always go straight to, we have too many guns. But I do think there's a point of, okay, well, then when can we talk about the common link in mental illness? When can we have a concentrated conversation about it? We've been doing this show for 7.5 years, and we talk about this, I don't know, every other month or so.
Right.
I mean, it's time to have this conversation.
All right, Greg, I know you're really hot on this.
Well, the issue is there's just a number of variables. And some people find one variable, guns, more of a priority than another variable, which is mental illness. You could probably address the whole thing with a database, which I've talked about, where teachers and relatives can submit a name to a civil court of somebody they believe is mentally ill and should not be near a firearm. If this was the dad's firearm, he should be held held responsible for that if this unstable, mentally ill person was to get that. That way you don't punish, and I talk about this with opioids, you don't punish the overwhelming majority of people who are using the product wisely, whether you're driving a car or whether you're using opioids or you're using weapons. It's the same principle. Do not punish the lawful, target the unlawful or the mentally ill.
Do you think it's a factor if you know you're going to a no-gun zone,
Yeah.
and you show up with a gun, you know you're not getting shot. So if you know you're going anywhere else in Florida and you pull out a gun, there's a chance that someone's going to blow your head off before you have a chance to get your target, which is I think he wounded 11, killed 2, and then he killed himself.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, there is stats that show that the length of a gun attack is dictated by the arrival of a second gun. So,
and maybe also, and what we've seen also with the psychotropics is they affect young people differently than adults. And we're aware of that. There's black box warnings about suicide effectively. But behavior changes, especially with young people. So we've got to at least address that. Is that the right go-to, just like with opioids, to save money when maybe a different kind of therapy would work? Maybe someone does need to be hospitalized for a period of time. I know that's politically incorrect these days. Giving parents more power to commit their children, people they're in charge of, as opposed to just giving them drugs. We've got to deal with that.
Very quickly, let me just say that most people with mental illnesses do not start shooting everywhere.
Right.
So I'm just cautious about this quickness to say, oh, it's about mental. It's not about mental illness in most cases at all.
In the shootings, it is, though.
I don't think so, Tammy. But and what the other point to say is here that when you have these guns everywhere, and people say, well, but you just should have it, legal. It's okay. Why don't we ever have the things that we on the 5 can agree on, which is, if you're going to get a gun, we should know exactly who you are. You should have a background check, and it shouldn't be all these guns are floating around.
Let's find out if this is a Nicholas Cruz situation where everyone knew he was a shooter. It was just a matter of time. We'll find out. Meanwhile, 17 minutes before the top of the hour, here's a message: be on time, do hard time. Reports of a stunning high school punishment for ditching class. That story coming your way.
Radio guy.